Crazy story for when I went to go see this. You know how there's like the some theaters they do like the trailers before the main actual trailers and stuff. Anyway, I went to go see this, and they played a trailer for Terrifier 3 in front of it. And so many children probably just got scarred at that moment. And it is crazy to just think about this being played in front of Transformers 1. Absolutely crazy. Oh my
Because
gosh.
I've seen bits and pieces of Terrifier, and it's that's not something you want to show in front of Transformers One, but yeah,
One of the goriest movies of the year.
yeah.
And just having you just had a like a grandmother and her grandchild come in and literally be like, is this Transformers? Like, are we in the right theater? And then a moment later you can hear like, shield your eyes, don't look,
Shield
don't
your
watch
eyes.
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Art the Clown versus Optimus Prime.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that would be the worst crossover ever.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, everybody? John here. I'm with Spencer. We have both watched Transformers 1 till all are
Yes.
one. And I think, like, with both of us, I think we're on the same page where we both liked it. We really enjoyed it. And I'm just going to, like, read off my reaction for a bit, and then we'll go with your reaction, your quick reaction. And so this is what I wrote on Twitter, like, right after I saw it. Transformers 1 was surprisingly well done. It's now one of my favorite Transformers movies and is an entertaining adventure where we get to see the rise of Megatron and Optimus Prime till all are one. And also, it's like, I think, the greatest Transformers origin story ever made for the movies, for Transformers movies. And yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm very much in agreement there. I think it was a very nice surprise because I think when everybody first saw that like first trailer, it kind of wrote like a lot of people kind of just wrote it off, and I think still have or are. And so, but it was a really nice surprise of just seeing how well done it was, and a very nice mix of just a lot of elements I think done right.
Yeah, I was one of those people where I saw the trailer. I'm like, I don't know, this is too comedic, and there's like it's
Yeah.
like a silly buddy adventure movie with
Mhm.
pre Optimus Prime and pre
Yeah.
Megatron. But when
Right.
you're watching the movie, it's just completely different. Like, of course, they set up the whole origin story with how they're good friends,
Yeah.
but then we all know what happens at the end. It's like
Right.
it's not a spoiler to say Megatron and Optimus
Right.
Prime are enemies. And this, I think we'll do like a non-spoiler, maybe like minor spoilers.
Sure.
We'll try to avoid huge spoilers,
Yeah.
but I think like it's not surprising to know like the
Right.
trajectory of Megatron and Optimus Prime and the anime. Let's talk about the animation. Like, it's because like I think one of the things that turned me off with the trailer, like the animation style with the whole comedy thing, but I think it works well with this. Uh,
Mhm.
just really getting to see Cybertron. We get to see this lived-in Cybertron, the different classes of different robots and how they're being
Yeah.
treated. So what did you like about that, the world of Cybertron?
You know, I find it very interesting because it's very different from every like thing else. I feel like when we think Cybertron, because for me, when I think Cybertron, I just think of it being one huge robotic planet, right? You know, sort of like all this machinery going around. You know, very much like what you see at the beginning of Bumblebee, right? And kind of think of the planet all like that, kind of, you know. And so, but this was very much like not that sort of feel. And so I found it interesting. It's cool to also just be able to explore that as well, and it'll be interesting to see how maybe it could potentially grow to be maybe more like the Cybertron that we know.
Yeah. And okay, we have to talk about Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree Henry as Optimus Prime and Megatron, because you know the classic got Frank Welker and then Peter Cullen, like the iconic
Mhm.
Megatron Optimus Prime. You can't beat those. But I
No.
think with this movie, by hiring Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree Henry, like it gives like a more of a like relatable, like just more human, like more down to earth
Mhm.
for these characters. Like, they're friends, they're hanging out with each other, they're dealing with a lot of dumb stuff that they have to deal with from the higher ups. And I think if you had Peter Cullen and Frank, it's just they're too iconic, they're too stoic, you know. Like imagine maybe Peter Cullen could pull off like a relatable Optimus Prime just down on his luck, trying to like reach to the top. Who knows? But I think with Chris and Brian, I think they did a good job. What do you think about those guys?
Well, yeah, it's very important to show, that this movie is showing it's their origin, right? And so being able to have the characters portrayed, I think, really well for showing their younger selves, and I think both actors did a great job there with it. And then by the end too, you can hear both of them very much trying to channel more of that Frank Welker, Peter Cole in there by the end of it as well. And they both did a great job in the respect. I think both of their journeys throughout the movie was done very well done.
Oh yeah, and I think the thing that surprised me with because we have was it Keegan Michael Key as
Yes.
pre Bumblebee, and
Yeah.
because okay, in the movies, the live action movies, Michael Bay stuff, when you think of Bumblebee, you think he's he can't talk, so the whole time he's
Right,
using
right,
the radio dial to play music,
right.
and that's been like almost like from beginning to end from the live action Bumblebee that we've seen, just not talking,
Right.
just emoting with his face and just gestures. But here, Keegan Michael Key, when you hire Keegan, he loves to talk, and so I thought it was funny that it was like a stark contrast. And I just want to hear more about what your thoughts are on Keegan Michael Key as.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
he was such a bright spot of the movie. Just almost everything he says just makes you laugh. He brought some great comedy in that movie, and just yeah, I think he has some of the best jokes, if not, or like the best jokes I think are probably from him. So he did good. I really liked his stuff.
Yeah, and then we also have Scarlett Johansson as Lita One, and Lita One, she's never been like my favorite of the female Transformers because I always loved RC, but here, she still has that kind of like that leadership role, like just authority, like she can help out, and she's always there to help out Optimus Prime, and I think with her, like Scarlett Johansson, she does like a solid job,
Yeah.
but nothing too like nothing about it like just really stood out in terms of just the
Yeah.
character development.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's kind of interesting because I'm not too familiar with Alita as a you know, but it was cool to see her be highlighted in this.
Yeah, because there, if you do want to watch more, like of course the Netflix trilogy, Alita One, she has like, a big
Right.
role in that.
That's
But
right.
I was not a huge fan of that just because of the whole. I felt like just the bickering back and forth with the Decepticon and Autobots. It just didn't feel natural, and so I think with this
Yeah.
one, the relationship between Megatron and Optimus Prime, like their friendship and how they became enemies, I felt like it was really well done, and I think like the team, the creative team, the director, writers, they did a good job. So, what is it like the one thing that really stood out for you in this movie? Like, wow, this is so good, or something else?
You know, what really stood out for me was just seeing the journey from Megatron, of seeing him, he's best buds with Optimus Prime, and then by the end of it, you see him being the Megatron that you're a lot closer to being the Megatron that everyone knows, right? And so just seeing that journey, I think, is very well told, and so that stands out to me as well, especially too because Megatron's always been my favorite Transformer. So just seeing his story done right, I think, is like that's awesome. I mean, everybody's was done right, but like just his in particular, it really hits hard though, because it's like you get to see how you see the beginning of their friendship too, and so just seeing that was great, and it
Yeah,
just it just makes it hit even harder.
it's like a great like the storyline. It's just a great just friendship that just turns sour. It just reminds me of like
Yeah,
Professor X and Magneto,
right.
and just a lot of I don't know if there's a lot of characters like that, but there's like those are the stories I love. Or even like Captain
Yeah.
America and the Winter Soldier, like good buds, and then something happened. There's a rift, and then
Hmm.
they butt heads. But I think with Megatron and Optimus Prime, they remain enemies for the most part.
Right.
Uh, but there's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. I'm not going to reveal them, but like if you're a fan of the Transformers, the '80s animated movie, you're gonna love this movie because this is like a
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like a love letter to that one, and also some some what is it? Some Autobots, some Decepticons that are featured in here, where you'd be like, "All right, I love this." Like you're wondering, like you're watching a trailer, like, "Hey, where's this person?" I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like anything that didn't work for you in this movie.
Not really. Like I can't like maybe there's like a couple minor things here and there, just like finer details, but like overall, like I was just really surprised. Like I guess a couple times like I didn't feel a whole lot, but like especially during like that first half of the movie is kind of had more of a tonal feel overall, I'd say, for like that first trailer had. And so like you
Yeah,
could I feel like there's a couple jokes here and there that felt kind of like forced. That's like, okay, you didn't need to have something like that there,
yeah.
but like I get that'd probably be the biggest thing for me though, not every joke in a comedy is gonna land, but it definitely changes away from that though as well.
No, yeah. And I think for me, yeah, I'm really trying to think like what didn't really work. Like it's probably like a minor gripe, but like maybe the I don't know. Well, you gotta have the middle part, the beginning, middle, and end. They all like help each other out. But I did kind of like was like tired, so I was kind of dozing off in the middle part where there's like there's a lull right in the middle, and then they're just trying to recuperate. But I think that's more on me than the actual movie.
Yeah.
So
So say I didn't really feel like a lull there in the
yeah,
middle. But yeah, no, I was just coming out of it very surprised at being like, well, this may actually be my new, at least so far, my new favorite animated movie of the year. And so I was just really pleasantly surprised by it, especially when we've already had stuff like heavy hitters like Ultraman Rising and
yeah,
Inside Out 2, which are both great in their own ways.
yeah. So
So
it's a good year for animated films, and then I want to know like
yeah.
what do you rank this Transformers One
You
with
know,
everything else?
it's kind of hard to rank just because for me just because it's so different than the others. And I
Yeah,
think that's part of what really helps it work of just seeing the characters in the different light and having it be animated and all that, and so it's harder for me to compare it, but I would say it would be up there at top three somewhere.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
uh, yeah, it's somewhere up there, it's I'm not sure I have a solid ranking yet, but it's up there with like Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, which I really like both of those for completely different reasons as well.
Yeah. And then for me, I would put, I still have a love for Transformers, the movie, the animated one. That's always up there.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Uh, yeah, Stan Bush, his music, you can't beat that. And then, yeah, we'll be up there with, for this one, Transformers 1, probably up there, between like around Bumblebee. And I loved Rise of the Beast. It's
Yeah.
weird that that movie had like mixed, kind of like, I feel like mixed reactions because it
Mhm.
wasn't like universally loved, but I love that there's like just a lot of the stuff from that movie that's also a love letter to Transformers, the movie, the animated movie with
Mhm.
Unicron and all that. So
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that. I see Unicron,
Right.
like the planet just coming in, like that's cool. None of this whole whatever they did with
Yeah.
the last night, where it's teasing
Oh God.
Unicron was Earth
Oh
all along.
God. I hated that. It was so
Yeah,
bad. Yeah.
and but yeah, this one, yeah, no, I do want to see if there's gonna be like a follow up, a trilogy, just to see if there's still more stories to tell. Because I feel like this movie kind of wraps up the whole arc with Megatron and Optimus Prime in terms of becoming
Yeah.
friends, then becoming the characters where they hate each other and the
Mhm.
Autobots and Decepticons fight
Yeah.
each other. But yeah, we'll see. So I don't know if there's anything last words that you want to say about this movie.
You know what? Go watch it because supposedly they can make it to a trilogy if it does good enough. I think it set itself up well, as you were just saying, to be a one-off movie, but I think it could very well work as a trilogy as well because there's so much more lead up to seeing how Cybertron falls apart to lead to, what people know of as Transformers here on Earth, right? And so I think it'd be great to have that as a full-on trilogy. So, don't let that first trailer turn you off if it turned you off, and just go give it a watch because I really liked it. The Transformers fan of me was really happy with this movie, and I just want to see, I just want to
Yeah.
be, I want to do well in the box office. So.
Oh yeah, and I really because I enjoyed this, and I felt like it really just does a really good job with telling the Transformers story,
Right.
and the trailer, and then whatever the previews, I feel like did a disservice to it. It just felt different,
Yeah.
but when you're actually watching it, you're like, wow, like
Yeah.
it kind of boggles my mind because sometimes trailers they do a good job of selling you the movie, and then you watch it and it's like, oh, this movie sucks. This one didn't
Right.
really do. This is one of the few where the trailers was like, but then the actual final product was like, whoa, like wow.
Yeah. 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 I 100% agree there.
Yeah. So I guess yeah. Those are our thoughts. Definitely, I enjoyed this, and you enjoyed it too.
Yes.
So yeah, when this movie comes out, let us know what your thoughts are on Transformers One below, and I would like to know where you rank this movie with the rest of the Transformers movies. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are like really Michael Bay Transformers lovers out there. You put it up there. But I really did love the first Michael Bay Transformers movie, like just because it was the first time seeing them in live action.
Yeah.
But there were some jokes where I'm like, but and then the whole flames on Optimus Prime, whatever you feel with that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, let us know your thoughts on the comments below. With that said, I'm John, and I'm with
Spencer from the Dingus Den.
the Dingus Den. Yeah, check him out on just type in the Dingus Den, and then you'll see it pop up. And so we'll
Yes.
see you guys next time. Peace.